Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And I really recommend you guys to check out Bybit. Now I know it is not possible to use in the US and UK, and I really can't help you guys with that. But guys, the amount of profit that there is to be made is really kind of crazy. Why? Well, because we are really getting the hang of these inverse and normal perpetuals. It's really starting to stick with me here. So hopefully you guys have been watching my videos carefully. If you did, you'd know that in all of the videos from yesterday and a little bit the day before, I've been telling you guys about how I am buying more XRP. I also even bought with you guys live. You can't deny this stuff. You can't come around it anymore. I bought XRP with you guys live because I even made a video explaining why I'm buying the dip and buying another 500 XRP in there. Two things to say. One, I know it's not a crazy amount of money. It's about the idea and the principle. The reason I have this trade open is not to brag how much money I have. Otherwise, I would have most likely put in quite a significant amount more. As you guys probably understand, this is an account which I don't use for my day-to-day trading. This is a YouTube account, which I've made purely to show you guys from my own bonuses that you can definitely make quite a significant amount of money with not that much money. And it's working out. So I'm pretty happy, pretty stoked today, pretty excited. And I want to know from you guys, did you buy the XRP dip, yes or no? And if you didn't, are you still planning to, or do you still want the price to basically go down lower or something like that? I've told you all before, the risk to reward is just juicy for me right now, and I don't really mind if the price goes down further in the upcoming future here. As long as I have enough XRP and a long position open, I'm happy, I'm good. Then we have a ton of crypto news, but there's also, by the way, the big competition coming up here. I've been reading into it and checking everything out because there's so much to read into. But basically, the way I've just read it is that there is a really big team competition and there's a really interesting solo competition. Now, the team competition is for all of us. So just type in DustyBC or press the link down below. You'll find it. Join it right here. However, you do need some, I believe, money in your account to be able to join. It's free, by the way, though. It's free. The other one is the solo showdown. This you can join once more with XRP. You don't need to have Bitcoin in there. And there's also a really small amount of XP that you need to have in there. So once more, just maybe check that one out too. I'm also in this one myself, and the rewards are pretty damn crazy. So I'm going to hope that I can pick myself up a high position on this one to make sure I get some profit. But all right. Now, Peter Schiff admits Bitcoin price could never reach 100,000, but remains a non-believer. Peter Schiff is still negative on Bitcoin, but admitted that its price could skyrocket to 100. It says 100,000K, but he means 100K. What's more, he regrets not buying some in 2011. That, ladies and gentlemen, is very freaking interesting. So, Peter Schiff is one of the most interesting crypto figures out there because he is so anti-crypto. What I mean with that is that he's very known in the Bitcoin space for being really against Bitcoin. Yet, look, keeping this in mind, The Economist somewhat reluctantly had to admit that he should have bought some portions of the asset when he first heard about it in 2011, as there's been a 9 million % ROI in the last decade. On a question about his financial regrets, Schiff said, "Clearly, I wish I'd bought some Bitcoin when I first heard about it. That was a keen mistake. Could have put 100,000 in? Yeah, I could have. I mean, I put 100,000 into other things that turned out poorly. I could have been one of the Bitcoin billionaires now, as obviously I knew about it early on. If I could go back in time, that's one of the things I would do." And that's kind of funny because I personally think that had he bought it back then, he would definitely have a completely different stance, as either he sold it really quickly once he was in some profit, or right now, as we've explained before, he'd be one of the Bitcoin billionaires and he'd most likely be shouting around every freaking corner and table that Bitcoin is the future, as that's what all Bitcoin billionaires do. If something makes you a billionaire, most people don't turn their backs against it saying it's crap. They stick with it and they love it till the bitter end. Ooh, guys, it could be that the freaking neighbors in my hotel room are knocking on the freaking wall, which is extremely awkward. I mean, I'm a normal person, by the way, all right? MM Crypto, if you guys know him from YouTube, he taught me never feel uncomfortable in public when you're working like that or doing your, you're doing your grind. However, there's some things which still creep me out. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, I wouldn't be able to be in the same position as Da Vinci and MM Crypto, just sitting, because I was with them, right? I was with them in the mall. They just sat inside a freaking little restaurant and just started screaming at their phone. Man, Wow, right? And I'm here in a hotel room still feeling awkward that my neighbors can hear me. What an interesting part, huh? At least at home and in the office and whatever, and other places, I don't really feel uncomfortable. But here, ooh, yeah, a little bit still. But all right. As long as they can't really hear too much, it's fine. Different story though. Brian Quintons, who was the person who answered us about Ethereum. Let's do 2 steps back, right? Jeremy Hogan asked a question over on Twitter for Gary Gensler basically to reply about what the stance of Ethereum was. Gensler, we know you understand Ethereum. We also understand you recently said that the US laws are very clear. Therefore, we all want to know, is Ethereum a security? And he, from the CFTC, basically said a futures contract on a security is in both the SEC's and CFTC's jurisdiction. A futures contract on a pure commodity, however, falls under the on the CFTC's jurisdiction. And there is currently a futures contract on Ethereum. It is only under the CFTC's purview, which makes Ethereum a non-security commodity, right? So from that perspective, Ethereum is it's not a security. Yet a little bit later, after he put up such a really important statement for the crypto space, he says, I'm honored to have served the derivative market and the public in this role for the last 4 years. My term expired in April 2020, but I wanted to remain at the commission as long as possible to ensure my voice was heard during the transition. My last day will be at the end of this month, and the crazy part for me is how progressive he was on crypto from some perspective. I'm so proud of building my servers around 3 broad themes: orienting commission rules towards specific risks, embracing tech and innovation, and harmonizing regulations domestically and internationally. Regarding innovation specifically, I've been privileged to be in this role during the listing of Bitcoin and Ether futures contracts, the proliferation of blockchain, custody of crypto inside the clearing infrastructure, and the rapid expansion of DeFi, which purports to realize the ultimate transparency, competition, innovation reward dynamic of a true free market. I look forward to keeping crypto and DeFi relevant to my career going forward, and will always advocate for freedom, innovation, inclusion, and prosperity. Let me actually retweet this really quickly. Prosperity they offer. The CFTC staff are a tremendous asset to the American public. I thank them and those who serve with me directly for their service. I will continue to be a strident advocate for financial market innovation, freedom of market participation, derivatives market integrity, and sound financial regulation. This Twitter account will be archived on 9/1/2021. Follow me at Brian Quintons. You know what? I will actually do that because that's going to be his own Twitter, I guess. Now, Jeremy said, also had a reply, always a sad day when the good public servants leave. Thanks for engaging with the people and for your common sense of freedom-loving approach to regulation. Happy travels. Interesting. All right, so we talked about that just now. Let's move on. Gary Gensler also having a talk over on Fox Business about China, crypto, and retail investing. I'm not sure exactly what 8:30 a.m. is supposed to mean. Like, what area of the world would that be in? Is that Washington, D.C. time or something like that? I have no freaking clue. Can I see it somewhere here? No, it doesn't actually say where the frick he would be. Where is the SEC office? I have no clue. Is that the time which he uses, or is it a different time? Like, in the U.S., I find that so difficult. They talk about 8:30 a.m., right? But in most countries, you have 1, maybe 2 time zones. But the U.S. is more. So what I find so difficult about that is, which one do you use? You have to know where the person is talking from. But in this specific case here, I have no idea. Is it going to be 8:30 p.m. for me? Is it going to be 6:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m.? I have no clue. So, it's annoying. Then Ripple, interested in joining our team? From cross-functional efforts to critical problem-solving projects, here's what our intern alums Mitun V says about Ripple experience. I think that's actually pretty interesting as well. The fact that you could just intern at Ripple, and the fact that you can really become part of such innovative technology, I think that's really kind of mind-boggling. The fact that I really shouldn't have maybe wasted my opportunity and just go work there. I mean, he's worked at all those freaking places, or at least he's tried to, I guess, get his name across, which is also interesting. I mean, from a certain perspective, it's not a flex to actually go to all these companies, because if you are, in the work field for not that long, and these companies are all kind of new, okay, it's not completely true, but all right, you get the drift. If you, for example, have worked on 3 of those crypto exchanges already, I mean, if you're a person who solves specific problems, that's pretty cool. If you, however, have a normal job and you keep quitting or leaving after a couple of months, that's kind of odd, right? Then again, in this technology space, people often leave for better opportunities and better challenges, because obviously people need to be challenged, right? And I do believe that at Ripple's team, there's quite some challenge. Then again, not a promotional piece. I mean, should you work there? I have no clue. I was just saying, hey, it's pretty funny that they're expanding like that, and just kind of a look back for myself. Like, would I have worked there if I had the chance? Like, wouldn't it be cool? I guess so, right? To be part of the innovation from that perspective. Then I just saw this. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Maybe I'll talk about it earlier depending on what order I do the videos in. The SEC has filed a further reply in support for its motion to compel Ripple to search for and produce Slack communications. About 2 hours ago, you can see that in terms of retweets and likes, there really isn't that much interest in this as much as there was before. That's because these parts are not as interesting as the ones we've seen before. Yet it's still quite relevant. And Jeremy said, I tend to agree with the SEC on this motion. I think they've shown enough to the judge to get some of these additional Slack custodians searched and produced. And the vendor mistake surely doesn't help Ripple. P.S. I'm glad this isn't YouTube with the thumbs down button because people wouldn't like a statement like this from him. But Zwig said, so the fat discovery date is going to be extended then? He says, no, the deadlines will remain no matter what. I mean, that doesn't make any sense though, because Ripple said, well, we need about 12 weeks to just search through, and then another couple of weeks most likely to kind of sort things. If they get the approval, it's going to be another couple of weeks that it's going to take. But since the discovery deadline is in about 2 weeks from now, that definitely gets kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to be working out. And then two other pieces I saw. Wells Fargo has filed to launch a Bitcoin fund. Rather interesting. According to a filing with the commission, the U.S. financial institution has partnered with FS Investments and New York Digital Investment Group for the initiative, which is going to be interesting. And Dmitry Buterin says Vitalik joining Dogecoin board may turn Doge into a better coin. Vitalik Buterin's father justifies Vitalik joining the board of the Dogecoin Foundation by saying this may improve Doge. I mean, I don't really get why people are joining the Dogecoin board, to be honest with you. Then again, I'm not really a Dogecoin big guy. I mean, we also saw Elon Musk, I think, join the board or something like that, right? I'm not even sure anymore about all of this, guys. I think Elon Musk joined the board, and now Vitalik has also joined the board. Whatever, man. Screw Dogecoin. I hold some, but I'm not really that bullish on it, to be honest with you. It's like, I hold it, and I'm okay with it, but meh. Guys, once more, let me know in the comment section down below if you have bought the dip and if you enjoyed this video. So you guys get another one, and make sure you press that like button to support the channel.